founder and executive director of the Rogers Park Westbridge Historical Society, is being honored at the 32nd annual Founders Day event for her dedication and commitment to her neighborhood. She founded the Rogers Park Westbridge Historical Society on July 26, 1975, and currently serves as the organization's executive director. Ms. Doyle is a member of the Rotary of Chicago Rogers Park, the Rogers Park Lions Club, and the Far North Side Women's Network. In addition, she participates in the Northeastern Illinois Historical Council and many other state and national societies. And whereas Mary Jo Doyle's tremendous passion for Rogers Park Westbridge neighborhood helped her co-author and publish 2 books, Chicago's Far North Side and an illustrated history of Rogers Park and Westbridge, and Neighborhoods Within Neighborhoods, 20th Century Life on Chicago's Far North Side. Ms. Doyle was also the primary consultant for the recently published book, Images of America, Rogers Park. And whereas the Honorable Bernard L. Stone, Alderman of the 50th Ward, has apprised this august body of Mary Jo Doyle's significant leadership, loyalty, and many contributions to her Northside community, now therefore be it resolved that we, the mayor and the members of the City of Chicago City Council assembled here this 19th day of July 2007 AD to hereby salute Mary Jo Doyle for her many contributions to the Rogers Park Westbridge community.
Where would we be as a community without knowing our history and have any knowledge? I learned so much from Mary Jo in terms of the history of Rogers Park and where this community was and how it started and why it's become the great community it is today. And we just couldn't have done it without Mary Jo. So I can't think of anyone who is more worthy of accolades than Mary Jo Doyle.
And I was fortunate enough to be one of the founders of the Historical Society when we had our initial meeting on July 26, 1975 at the Rogers Park Library. So only a month, 2 months from now will be our 32nd anniversary. It just so happened that there was this little newspaper. It was called the Rogers Park Paper. It was printed by the Graphic House. Kathy and Dennis Pollock, who are still around after all these years, they're very community-minded. And they had this little paper. It was in little news boxes around the community, and it was at the Rogers Park Library. And it said, anyone interested in starting a historical society, come to the library. So I was one of about 15 or 20 people that went there on July 26, 1975.
Involved with the Historical Society, what is it that's in you that made you want to leap and do it?
I don't know if there was anything special. I mean, I grew up here. I loved Rogers Park my whole life.
You know almost everybody and have talked with almost everybody here.
No. That's not even close to true. There's like 135,000 people here.
But you know many of them.
It's a, well, I might know 10 or 15,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I have a really good memory, and I just loved it from the very beginning. And all these people that were at the meeting, they went away, and then they came back in 2 weeks. They brought their photos. They brought other people to the meetings. We started having meetings twice a month on the first and third Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
And one of them would be more or less a business meeting. And then the other one would be visiting and talking and sharing stories. And then we started to have programs. We had this guy from the Sundown Antiques come and bring antiques, and then you could come with one of your antiques and he would identify them. And I'm talking 1978.
Okay.
77 or 78. We did a church walk.
What is like one of your favorite stories? Or a few?
Well, it's kind of interesting that In 1952, the Rogers Park Community Council was organized, and one of their very first objectives was to save our lakefront beaches. We have 13 street end beaches in Rogers Park.
Yeah.
And we knew that the developers would want to come. And so they passed this ordinance called the Lakefront Protection Ordinance, but not before everyone organized here, and they actually sent sandbags to the late Richard J. Daley, who was the mayor at the time,
Okay.
convincing him to pass this ordinance
To protect.
our lakefront.
Some of your dreams or visions for the Historical Society as it moves forward.
There's a firehouse in Rogers Park right now that's been occupied by the Chicago Fire Department since 1915. And they're going to build a new firehouse in Rogers Park. We, the Historical Society, and another community organization called the Rogers Park Community Council are thinking of ways that we can raise some money and put it together with other funds that are available for us and rehab the old firehouse before we move in.
That's sort of a dream come true for you.
Right. So I'm hoping that maybe 2 years from now we'll be able to move into the firehouse located at 1723 West Greenlee in the heart of Rogers Park.